Holy shit. Can we get Jerry Springer inside here, please? Can anybody know what Jerry Springer is? No? Oh, we might need him for this fucking chapter though. One Piece chapter 1098, titled The Birth of Bonney. First off, cover art is killer. We have Brook up there killing it with some electric eels, and as he charges up his electric guitar and plays some death notes. I want to get right into the chapter because this chapter had everything that you could possibly imagine and then some. So, of course, we start the chapter off at the Revolutionary Army's headquarters in Baltigo. Previously, we seen Kuma get word that Bonney has been captured. Now we're here on Baltigo again, and we see that everybody is all hands on deck. People are requesting backup in the South Blue. Kuma is going out there and just manhandling situations and destroying cities. He's freeing people as a Revolutionary Army member. One of the three heads of the Revolutionary Army, of course. He's attacking anything and everything inside his way. Kuma is on a path of destruction. His woman was captured. He has a flashback about her, and he just simply goes all out on any mission that comes up. Kuma's mission of saving the people was successful. At the same time, he destroyed a lot of property. And the look on his eyes as he's going through since Guinea's capture is just beyond me. Like, he looks pissed. On top of that, we have that the Revolutionary Army is just becoming the heroes of the people. They're here to save the people from everything that's going wrong. The Revolutionary Army's at it again. We get the Navy that is on watch for them. We cut over to around 2 years since the capture of Guinea. She is going to be married to a celestial dragon. What? There's no way in hell you're going to take my woman from me and then try to marry her. So this unnamed celestial dragon Joe thought that my wife looked so good that he had to have her for himself. So he took her by force, and that's the reason why we see in Guinea in the last chapter and her squadron getting attacked. And on top of that being taken by force, we see that Kuma are up on a tear and they're in disbelief. It's been 2 years. My woman is missing. I'm hurt. What's going on? And next thing you know, we get bada 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 bada. Bada 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 kacha. Kuma! It's Guinea! She's on the line right now. And Kuma, Dragon, and Ivankov are all there looking on. And she says, Kamachi, I finally made it back to the surface. They didn't want me around anymore after I got sick. I was thrown away. And of course, it's a stroke of luck to Kuma that he can hear her voice. But he's on concern as well because he says, you're sick. And then she goes on to say that I wanted to see everybody one last time. But this call will have to be our goodbye. Kuma freaks out. Dragon looks deterred. And Ivankov is enraged, crying. They're wondering what the hell is Guinea talking about. She simply goes, Kamachi, I'm sorry, but I'm at death's door. I'm glad you care about me. Really, but you shouldn't come when I'm like this. And she goes, Dragon, big bro, please take care of Kamachi. He has a big heart. Please look out for him. And as soon as she says that, Kuma has a snapping thought inside his head. I know where she's at. And he takes off, moving anybody who's in front of him out the way. Revolutionary Army members and all. And he takes flight. And he goes back to his village, the Sabarit Kingdom. This is where he knows Guinea will be. Back where they were first found free. The place where they landed at. And this is perfect because as he gets there, he gets to see her face just a little bit. And everybody's going crazy. Oh, welcome back, Kuma. And he's just looking for her. Where's Guinea? As he goes into the church, knowing where she's at, what happened next was unbearable for him. Guinea was exposed to natural light. And her face, her entire body, everything with it, her hands turned into all blue and her skin hardened like stone. As Kuma looks on at her, she's done with laying on the ground with her hand on the transponder snail. He has flashbacks. Oh, Kamachi, as she eats the food. I'm just so happy. as he picks her up next and he sees the stones all over her body. And he remembers, hey, Kamachi, let's get married. Wouldn't it make you happy? And he starts crying as he hugs her tight to his body. Kuma looks on and everybody's looking on at Kuma right now and they're all crying. And they just simply say that she took her a huge risk trying to cross the ocean just to make it back home. And she's not home alone because on the floor next to her is a crying baby. This baby was ensured safety because Guinea took this baby from the celestial dragon's palace where she was at, most likely in Marijoa, and brought the baby and herself back home to the Sabaric kingdom. Kuma looks on at her with the cross over everything in the church, and it says, you can rest now, Guinea. I swear, I'll raise her well. As he puts her to rest with the giant cross, places her in the garden, he takes his final look at her with a bouquet of flowers and walks off. Some time passes by, and Kuma's trying his best to be a father, as this poor little baby, as this little baby can fit in the palm of his hand. As he feeds her the bottle, he's doing things wrong. He's new to this dad stuff. Everything's going bad. But this baby finally gets it right. But Kuma finally gets it right because of the help from the people. The people are looking on at Kuma and help making sure that they raise her. This little baby is raised by a village of people who care for her. The elderly people are there looking out for her. And as she's drinking the bottle, Kuma makes a quick look and just reminds herself of just how gluttonous Guinea was. And this baby is just like her. Some years pass. She finally says her first words, Daddy. And Kuma starts crying. She's walking up. She looks beautiful. Looks like a spitting image of her mother. She's eating just like her mother. She's playing with the elderly people and looking out for them as well. And Kuma's doing his dual life. Kuma's working for the Revolutionary Army as well as looking out and raising this baby. He's bathing her. He's going back to help out with the Revolutionary Army and freeing more people. He's sleeping next to an iron cage so he doesn't crush her. He's raising Sabo as well because Sabo has now joined the Revolutionary Army and he's out there in the field getting trained by Kuma. Kuma is doing his best to have a dual life until he notices something about her. This baby has something on her. Kuma goes and he boards up all the windows inside the church. He covers everything. He makes sure that the door is always closed because now this little girl right below her eye has a blue stone just like her mother. And everybody in the village takes off. There are people that's there. They witness it. They go get the doctors. They're trying their best to figure out what's going on. They're unfamiliar with this. This is something that they're not familiar with at all. Even though Guinea had it and this child now has it, this child being Bonney, of course, Kuma doesn't want to lose her. So he goes to the Revolutionary Army. He goes to Dragon and Ivankov. And he strictly says he's quitting the Revolutionary Army. He doesn't know if it's the right thing to do, but he wants to stay by Bonney's side. And Dragon understands out of all people, that it's important to live without regrets. Dragon being the person who left his son in his grandfather's hands to get raised by Dadan, a total stranger in his village. But that's a story for another day. Dragon simply states that we can use our connects that we have to reach out towards doctors all over the world to see if they can come and figure out what's going on with her. So 7 years ago when Bonney was 5 years old, or several years ago, she's chasing the boys away just like her mother used to. She's flipping them off and giving them the bird and says, stay out, you twerps. This is age 5 Bonney. And all the boys are making fun of her, calling her a vampire, saying she can't come out. They're even putting crosses up on her and saying you're going to burn. And she just simply has a Guinea moment. She kicks one of the boys right in the side of the head and says, it's a church, you dummy. I'm not a vampire. The boys run off scared, and then you hear Bonney stop. Don't go along with that because she said that she's going to chase them. And the person that says it says, please don't go outside. No matter if you're joking or not, please just don't even joke like that. Kuma is very, very much worried about her. She's only 5. She has the stone underneath her eye. And Bonney says, okay, I hate it when you get all sad and worried anyway. I promise not to do it again. And he starts crying and says, you're such a good kid. She doesn't want to be touched. She said, you're such a big crybaby dad. And she looks on as Kuma and her are now trying to relax. She makes a quick joke about just how those jokes are making fun of her stones again. And she's wondering, are they really that weird? But he says, you mean your jewels? And Kuma just looks at her and makes it so beautiful. Says they're just jealous because you got so many pretty jewelry. Hence the name Jewelry Bonney. So we don't know her last name, of course. But we'll save that. Actually, no, we'll do it right now. So we don't know Bonnie's last name. Because whatever celestial dragon that she was with, her mother Guinea didn't care to keep that last name. So we don't know the actual name of Juri Bonney. So we call her Juri Bonney because of Kuma. Kuma sits there and he said, you have those lovely jewels. So she got her last name or her surname because of the jewels that were on her face. This is why we call her Juri Bonney. And they sit down, they're talking to one another, and they're having a good time. Bonnie's looking up at Kuma. Kuma's looking down at Bonnie as they play with Lego blocks or whatever you want to call the little weird shaped, stackable wooden squares, short, the blocks. And he goes, hey, Bonnie, where do you want to go? Where would you like to go when you're better? And she says she heard about this legendary island called the Sky Island. And because she wants to go to the Sky Islands because she read it in a book. She wants to go up there because it's so close to the sun. So maybe she might see Nika up there. And she knows how much Kuma loves Nika. And Kuma starts dancing and singing and says that sounds like a grand adventure. We're going to have a big celebration for your 20th birthday. And he asks her again, where should we go for your 19th? She says she wants to go to Fishman Island. And they have a wonderful time and go to sleep finally. Some of the connects that Dragon has made now is coming into contact with Kuma. They finally made it to the Sovereign Kingdom and are all checking out and examining Bonnie. And she's suffering from something called Sapphire Scale. And it's an incurable disease. Something that he shouldn't speak very loudly on because Kuma doesn't want Bonnie to overhear it. But the doctor simply states that these days you almost never see that. The stones will continue to grow whenever you're around any natural light like the sun or the moon. It's completely you can't prevent this at all. Even if you completely prevent exposure to the sun, this disease will catch up to Bonnie. And as she's looking on, he asks the doctor, so how long does she have? The doctor simply states that at best she will have about 10 years left. And Kuma starts crying and says it'll only be 10. It'll be over on her 10th birthday. And as he says that, boo! Pops out Bonnie. Bonnie was hiding underneath the table or something in the way. Or somewhere around the corner. She pops up, Kuma falls down. She hops on top of Kuma and says, I heard it all. It'd be over by 10th birthday, right? And she's thinking that the scales will be over with for her 10th birthday. So she asks Kuma exactly what's happened. And then she says, why are you crying? Did I say something? He goes, oh yes, your 10th birthday. It's when your illness, Bonnie. The stupid doctor was talking about your illness and how the condition will continue until you're 10. He just lied to her, right to her face to try to protect her because she's going to die anyway. At most, she has 5 years. So at 10 years old, it's going to end. The illness will stop growing because she'll be no longer there. So she says that by my 10th birthday, I'll be all right. So we can make those trips a lot sooner now. Isn't that right, Daddy? He goes, of course. By the time you're 10, you'll be cured. Bonnie's extremely happy. And Kuma is looking on again, completely sad. But 1 year later, the Sovereign Kingdom is now under attack and being ruled again by King Bakuri. King Bakuri, he's back. Just as monstrous as ever. Just like 16 years ago, the elderly people are looking on for Kuma to be the answer and be that savior for them. But that's the thing. It's a little bit different now. King Bakuri wants to burn the people in their home. And this tragedy will never end. But it might be unfolded in next chapter. We have a break for next week's chapter. So by 1099, we're going to have the reveal of something totally different. We're probably going to see the rest of the of Bonnie, gosh, while she was growing up. I am at a loss of words. This has been probably one of the most heartbreaking story chapters. Just the witness. Guinea and a celestial dragon made Bonnie, so Bonnie's now half celestial dragon. She has royalty blood in her, but yet she's Juri Bonnie and has been raised by Kuma because Kuma's love, passion, and love interest was Guinea. This is like almost some fucking Forrest Gump shit. If you haven't seen Forrest Gump, Ginny runs away and hold on. Wait a minute. Forrest is there. Forrest is in love with Ginny, and Ginny is out being a whore, getting knocked up by other men. As Forrest is traveling around the world, he joined the military. He went to college. He done a lot of things. Life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what happens. It's very similar to the story of Kuma and Guinea. Guinea and Ginny are very close inside names as well, in spellings and in letters and just in sound. Was Oda trying to make a Forrest Gump reference when he thought about this? So the meaning of Kuma, of course, is a bear. So bears are normally in a forest. So if a bear's in a forest, Forrest Gump, and we have Kuma, then we have Guinea and Ginny. We have a baby that was made by somebody else as the forest, and Kuma will travel in the world. I might be getting a little bit off topic with that one, and it might be a huge far stretch, but that is something to think about as well. The connection, similar parallels between Kuma and Forrest Gump aren't too far off. But to go right into it, I do want to close out with saying that it is crazy to see that Kuma and Guinea did not have a kid. So my last chapter review, I did state that, or maybe 2 chapter reviews ago, I'm not sure, that Bonney is have the Buccaneer race, and that's a complete false now. That's complete falsified information. I apologize for that. That was just me thinking that. A lot of people probably thought that as well, but that's not the case. The case is that Bonney is the daughter of a celestial dragon and Guinea. Guinea was forced into a marriage, and then Kuma raised Guinea, but not raised, and then Kuma got to see Guinea die in his arms as he ended up looking on at this child and now having to raise her. It's crazy. But Oda, you are a genius. The fact that she talks about meeting Nika one day and she actually knows Nika is beyond me. Since we all know Nika is Luffy and Bonney is on Egghead Island with Luffy now, a lot of things starting to add up and connect inside Bonnie's life. I'm just glad she's been around as long as she has been. I do want to know if her devil fruit was given to her before 10 years old, and somehow, some way, her devil fruit played a factor into being a cure that was needed to make the stones go away. The sapphire stones, the sapphire scales. So this will be very interesting to wrap up. What's your comments down below? Let me see what do you guys think about who the celestial dragon might be, or the family that Bonney could be tied to. She gets her pink hair from her mother, so that's obviously not that helpful. She also gets her gluttonous attitude from her mother, so that's not helpful either. She could be a clone still, maybe, just maybe, but I don't think so because she is growing up. And we all know that the Seraphs are pretty much staggered at whatever age that they're at. So who could be the celestial dragon that bought Guinea out? Well, that captured Guinea and actually made a baby with her. At the same time, what are your thoughts about Kuma stepping up as a father? Did he do the right thing? Yes, no. And how do you guys think that she actually gets cured? I personally believe that it was her fruit. She obviously loves to read. She reads about so many things. She has a lot of books inside there we were going through a chapter and looking at. So it would only be right for her to become a reader. What do you guys think? Leave the comments below. Please comment on some of the videos. We love it when you guys do that to be more interactive with you guys and the 1216 Grand Fleet. We at the 1216 Podcast would love to be more interactive and keep taking you guys on. So please keep rocking with the free world. We are at 255 subs. And we'll be doing a giveaway really soon. We're sorry we've been delaying that. Stick tuned because we have something coming up in store for you guys with the AOT special this weekend. We also have other stuff in store that may be fun. Videos on TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. Rock with us the long way, the strong way. Remember to hit that like button, hit that comment button, type a comment inside there, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you get notified every single time we drop a banger video. Of course, keep rocking with us. 12 out.